Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be showing you the two ways to land a tail dragger airplane. Now for those of you who have not experienced the joy that is tail dragger airplanes, you're missing out. They're fantastically annoying to fly in every sort of way. So let's go rip around the pattern and get set up. There are two basic ways to put a tail dragger down on the ground. So the first method is going to be what they call two wheels, and the second method is going to be what they call three-wheeled landing. And the big difference between the two, other than the amount of wheels that you're going to be hitting the ground with, is going to be in the nature of the speed that you approach. So I'm going to slow our plane down a little bit so we can go ahead and get us some lovely flaps hanging off the back there. And you'll notice we don't have flaps on this airplane, which makes it even more fun for us. You also notice we have a pretty substantial crosswind coming in there. All right, let's start slowing down so we can start going down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly this plane in what they call a slip. So what I'm going to do is aim a little bit to the left here, and I'm just going to put my right wing down a little bit. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to monitor the end of the runway just like we would a normal approach. The difference here is because I'm flying sideways, I can keep an eye over the nose as I do my approach itself. Now what I notice here is I'm coming a little on the high side. So what I'm going to do is bring the throttle back just a little bit, and then I'll bring it right back up a few moments. Now for our first landing, we're going to be doing this as a two-wheel landing. Two-wheel landings are fun because what you're trying to do is putting the two wheels on the ground gently, and when you do hit the ground, you have to tap the least amount of brake you've ever hit in your life. Let me show you. All right, over the runway, throttle's coming back. We're going to conclude a fast landing, and what we're going to do is we're going to just settle down at two wheels. Now, as soon as we're down, we're going to tap the brake, just like that, and we're just going to balance the plane using the rudder as much as possible. And you can see here that I'm actually pretty parallel here, and my tail is still flying. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pull the nose up to let the tail wheel come down, and I'm going to go ahead and start applying smooth braking action. So what you notice there is when we came down, that was a pretty quick set down. You also notice the plane had a tendency to want to kind of jump back up into the sky again. That is very typical of those style landings, and you can see that it actually worked pretty well. Now, I like those kind of landings when it's difficult to see, especially if you're on a grass runway or something like that. And I also like those kind of landings when you're learning because it really teaches you to fly in formation with the ground. Now, let's go back up again, and let's go ahead and take a look at the other version of the landing a tail dragger, and that's going to be everybody's favorite, which is going to be the three-point landing. Now, a three-point landing involves landing at a high angle of attack. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the side of the plane here, look at the side, we need to land at this angle. So if you look where I am right now, the angle that you see right now is the exact angle our plane needs to land at. Now, if I look out the front windshield here, you'll probably observe how challenging it is to see the ground when you hit that particular angle. That also lets you know just how slow you need to be coming down for a landing. So right now, I'm awfully high, so this is going to be a little difficult to pull off. So what I will do is get myself set back up again. Yeah, we're looking good. We're even a little low here, but that's okay. All right, so same thing as before. I'm going to use my little bit of a slip here. I'm going to fly the plane a little sideways to kind of keep an eye on the ground. The big difference here is we need to transition to the landing attitude and use our peripheral vision out the side of the plane for the purposes of keeping an eye on things. So for this landing, I'm going to be flying that slip quite a bit here. Looks good, looks good. Again, we're going a little slower. All right, let's transition into the landing attitude. So instead of trying to fly in formation with the ground, I'm going to get myself over the ground, and I'm going to slowly start pulling back, and I'm going to hold the nose of the plane at the angle it needs to do. Now, what you'll see there is all 3 points of the plane hit the ground at the same time. You also observe that I'm pulling up on the elevator to keep the tail neatly planted on the ground itself. Now, again, be careful on the brakes. You want to be real gentle at this point, otherwise you're going to have a tendency to do a face plant. But as you can see, the advantage to the two-wheel is the fact that you can see a little bit better, but that also means you're coming in faster, which makes it harder to hit the brakes. You'll see the advantage to the three-wheel is it's a much shorter landing distance, and it also kind of gives you that sweet attitude that you need, but it is also much more difficult to see. Enjoy.